गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। ॐ योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्नाम् अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं। प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं। प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं। We are in Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 22, and here the topic covered is about Sankhya Yoga, and it says categories enumerated, distinction between Prakriti and Purusha. And this is where Sankhya Yoga or Yoga as we know it, it is the same, where it is considered that the Purusha and Prakriti are separate. But here we are not going to see, we are going to see it from both sides, that Purusha and Prakriti are separate and how they are the same also. So that will be for understanding how can something that be separate be the same also? For that calmness in the mind is required. Then only it will. Just like, very simply put, man and husband seem to be separate but actually are one. Exactly the same way. The Purusha and Prakriti seem to be separate. For whom, that we will discuss. And when they appear to be one, for whom, that also we will discuss as we go along. If that is the topic given. If not, I'll still explain. So, let's read what is the question with which Uddhavji Maharaj. So, Uddhav Gita is still going on. Uddhava Uvacha Atha Dvavinshodhyayah. Discourse 22. Uddhava Uvacha Kati Tattvani Vishvesha Sankhyatanyur Rishibhi Prabho Navaikadasha Pancha Trini Athatvameh Shushruma Kechit Shadvinshati Prahuhu Apare Panchavinshatim Saptaike Navashat Kechit Chatvaryekadasha Pare Kechit Saptadasha Prahuhu Shodashaike Trayodasha Etavatvam hi Sankhyanam Rishayo Yad Vivakshaya. So what does he say? He says in the first verse, Kati tattvani vishvesha sankhyatani ऋषिभिः प्रभो नव एकादश पंच त्रीणि आत्थ त्वमिह शुश्रुम. How many are the categories or fundamental principles enumerated by the seers, meaning the rishis? Because to them the sutras were revealed. So what are the categories? What are the different categories? How many are the categories or fundamental principles enumerated by the seers, O ruler of the universe? You for your part have referred in discourse 19 above that these categories are 9, 11, 8, 28, etc., etc. Somewhere it is 26, somewhere it is 28, somewhere it is 9, somewhere it is 11. So which one are we going to take? Because see, the more information is given, the more confusion ensues. हम तो पुरुष प्रकृति को फॉलो करते हैं और वो वाला उस वी फॉलो दैट नॉलेज वेयर द प्रकृति इज टोल्ड टू बी 28. दूसरा कहेगा नहीं यार, प्रकृति त्रिगुणात्मिका, ओनली 3 सत्व रजस तमस. You don't know anything, we know 28. So then you can see, if you go to the ashrams, you go to some discussions, forums where these discussions take place, and they are fighting with each other, arguing with each other, debating with each other. And sometimes, to tell you the truth, when we were studying, at times our mind also was thinking, why somewhere it is 3, why somewhere it is 11 or 8 or 28, why these different ways? So then he says, Kechit षड्विंशति प्राहुः अपरे पंचविंशतिं सप्तैके नव षट् केचित् चत्वार्येकादशापरे. Some, however, speak of 26 categories, other of 25. Some declare 7, 9, 6, 4 respectively, while others mention 11. And केचित् सप्तदश प्राहुः षोडशैके त्रयोदश एतावत्त्वं हि संख्यानां ऋषयो यद् विवक्षया. Some again declare 17, others 16, and still others 13. With what intention do the sages severally declare such a large variety of numbers? Be pleased, O eternal Lord, to tell us this and remove the doubt from our mind. Which one we should follow? Very simply put, you understand it this way. Just like a person, if you are sitting in a circle in a class, roundabout. Now everyone has to put on the paper all that they can see with their eyes, physical eyes, what they can see while facing in that direction, and they will start writing. No turning, only what is within their vision. Everyone will write something different. Someone will see the sofa, the TV. When you are looking forward, right now there is screen. There is screen and there are people on the screen or Swamiji on the screen. There will be wire, there will be wall, there will be roof, there will be cornice. There might be a plug or switch, buttons, door. But if someone is facing the other way, he will see the sofa, the curtains, etc. So someone sees so many things, someone sees only a blank wall. Only one wall. Then color of the wall, maybe the cornice and the skirtings. हो गया, 4-5 हो गए और क्या? Nothing else there. So it depends from where each of these sages is sitting, what has been revealed to him. In that manner he has put it down. But let's see what Bhagwan in his unique way will explain. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. But you understood the question, right? So some people say that the categories are in the Prakriti, and this Prakriti, yes, of course there is Purusha and Prakriti, but when this interaction is happening, some say Purusha is interacting with Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Some people say Purusha is interacting with only one, Avyakta, Maya. Some people say Purusha is interacting with Ashtada Prakriti, which is space, air, fire, water, earth, and man and mind and intellect, mind, intellect, and life. So different ways. So all these calculations which were said. So basically, you can go from 1 till 28, or 36 also you can go. So which one should we take, and how should we understand all this? So Bhagwan is saying, Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Let's read up till the 9th verse. All the verses here, 5-6 verses. Yuktam cha santi sarvatra bhashante brahmana yatha maya madiya mudgruhya vadatam kim nu durghatam naita devam yathathatvam yadaham vachmi tattatha evam vivadatam hetum shaktayo me duratyayaha yasam vyatikaradasid vikalpo vadatam padam prapte shamadamepyeti vadastamanusamyati parasparānupraveshat tattvanam purusharshava paurvaparya prasankhyanam yatha vakturvivakshitam ekasminnapi drishyante pravishtanitaraणि च पूर्वस्मिन् वा परस्मिन् वा तत्त्वे तत्त्वानि सर्वशः पौर्वापर्यमतोमीशां प्रसंख्यानमभीप्सतां यथा विविक्तं यद्वक्त्रं गृह्णीमो युक्तिसंभवात्. He says, the Lord Shri Krishna is answering him, Yuktam cha santi sarvatra bhashante brahmana yatha mayam madiyam udgruhya vadatam kim nu durghatam. Whatever the Brahmanas well versed in the Vedas declare is but right. So all these different categories were revealed as sutras to the various rishis, and if they were revealed and that was all compiled together by our Maharishi Vedvyas, then it must be true. Who are we to argue with that? For all categories stand concluded in all others. So in one, all the 36 are included, and in the 36 the one is included. In the 28 the one is included. In the one the 28 is included. Just like Avyakta, the unmanifest, is included in Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, and Sattva, Rajas, Tamas is included in the Avyakta, the unmanifest, or Maya. See? Ignorance is included in its effect. What is the effect of ignorance? Desire, काम, and karma, action. So without ignorance you cannot have desire and action. But you cannot have desire and action without ignorance. See? So they are for all categories and included in all others. What is there hard to establish for those who make their assertion accepting the potency of my Maya? What is there hard to establish? So, if people say, like Buddha Bhagwan and his disciple Anand, he was standing behind him, and one devotee came. He says, I want to ask a question. Yes, ask. He said, is there God? Is there God? The way the question was asked, Buddha answered, no, there is no God. The next person came. He asked, God is there? He said, yes, he is there. But the Anand who was standing behind him, he got confused. And both the people who came, they went away satisfied. But the one who was standing behind, he got confused. See? How come one person you said he's there and another person you said he's not there? What is the problem here? The problem is the one who asked the question sincerely and listened to the answer sincerely, was available to the answer, he went away contented. But this Anand who was standing behind, it was neither, both the questions were not his, but he was eavesdropping on the answer and the question, which was not his. If the question has come out of our own contemplation, as it came to these various rishis, and to someone it was revealed that it is Trigunatmika, to someone it was revealed that it is Ekadasha, to someone it was revealed it is 13, 16, 20, and so on and so forth. They were satisfied. This question was not of Uddhava did not sit for meditation. These answers or these conclusions were not revealed to him. Therefore the confusion. Therefore the question. Whenever we ask any question to any Mahatma, which is not coming as a result of abhyas, as a result of contemplation, as a result of the adhyatmic sadhana, from their own journey, by their own analysis of their own life, by their own analysis of their own mind. When the question comes, believe me, if that question is that sincere, which has come out of your own contemplation, the answer also comes, and when the answer comes, you are contented and satisfied. But when we have a question because we have read Bhagavad and we have read ISKCON Bhagavad, or we have read Gita Press Bhagavad, or we have read some other text, or we read Valmiki Ramayana and we read Kamba Ramayana and we read Tulsi Ramayana, there will be some questions there. Because you read, it was not you did not contemplate on it. So when the questions come from a shallow mind, just from the surface, just because we read it, oh, but what does it mean? You have not even contemplated on it. then we get confused. But if it is a genuine question, the nature will provide you answer ASAP, depending upon the urge that you have to satisfy that question, that doubt. Nature helps. Lord Grace comes. See? Yesterday someone, just half an hour, someone came on the Zoom and they were learning something. And then afterwards, normally she's working and then she goes back to work, goes back to do whatever she has to do. Yesterday she said, Swamiji, now I have time, can I talk to you? I said, yeah, talk. Yeah. She's a yoga teacher. She says, when will I get established within me? This was her question. When will my sadhana fructify? This was her question. Then what will I say? What I said to her? I said, choice is yours. Two ways you believe. If you believe it is difficult, it will take a long time, then it will take a long time. If you believe that it is instantaneous, immediate, then it will be like that. How much sadhana does a wave need to do to know the water? I asked her. She said nothing. I said, you also do nothing and you are there. You cannot be separate from your essential nature. You cannot be separate from the Atma. Wave cannot be separate from the water. She says, then what I have to do? I said, listen to what you are asking me. Once I have given you this simile that what sadhana the wave has to do to realize the water, that much sadhana you need to do to realize the Atma. She says, no, wave has to do nothing. And then now you are asking me then what I have to do? Because we are so addicted to doing. We are addicted to create a journey. We are addicted to time, space, objectivity. That addiction, that obsession, that identification with the limited makes the mind believe that it has to traverse a journey in order to get the result. Understand, Vedanta does not accept that. Vedanta says the destination that you are seeking is already you. The destination that you are seeking, the Paramatma that you are seeking, the Brahman that you are seeking, the divinity that you are seeking is already your essential nature. Learn how to do nothing. Stop desiring the world. Stop running after the world. And the whole sadhana, the whole theme of Vedanta is only towards this. So what is coming between the wave and the water? What is coming between the wave and the water? How does wave know that it is a wave? Because it is focused on its form. And how is the wave focused on its form? Through its mind. Same way, this self that I feel I am, the consciousness that I am, through my mind I am identified with this form. So on one hand, the phenomena of consciousness expressing through this body, giving rise to the mind, it is going on. But through the same mind, I have made one mistake. Through that, I have considered that phenomena called mind, which is non-existent, yet seems to be there. I have taken it to be real. And how I have taken it to be real? The reality of mind, of the Atma, I have superimposed it on the mind. And I started considering that this mind is real. And that's the point, that from that point onwards the journey begins. Then what you have to do? You have to decouple this. You have to delink, cut it. This is the knot. This is the Hridaya Granthi. And for that, whether you do pranayam, whether you do nam jap, whether you do kundalini sadhana, whether you do kriya yoga, whether you sing the name of the Lord in Sankirtan, like Haridas Giri Maharaj or Anandamayi Ma or Raghavendra Swami, or you sit in silence like Raman Maharishi, it doesn't matter what you practice, but goal must be clear. And what is the goal? That I am already the goal that I am seeking, and the only obstacle coming between me and the goal which I am already is the mind. And actually speaking, it is also not, it is at the, from the highest standpoint, mind is not a problem. But from where I am standing at right now, as a seeker, it seems that the mind is fickle. It cannot focus. It cannot concentrate. It cannot become silent. It cannot pursue something continuously for a long time, and therefore it needs to be disciplined. What will happen by discipline? It will settle down. What will happen after settle down? It will slowly reduce the number of thoughts. And as the number of thoughts reduce consciously, without going to sleep, by whichever way, but not by alcohol and drugs. If you want to follow that path, then go and join Tantra. Tantra, Aghori path, Tantric path. There they practice and they go beyond it. So in this manner, so with this understanding you approach this topic now. He says in the 5th verse, Naita devam yathatha tvam yadaham vachmi tat tatha evam vivadatam hetum shaktayo me duratyayaha. My potencies in the form of 3 gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas, appearing as so many modifications of the mind, which are so difficult to overcome, are at the back of those wrangling over the cause of the universe in the following strain. It is not unique as you say. What I say is correct. So, who are these people who are discussing, who are arguing, who are wrangling, who are fighting with each other? I am a Vaishnava, I am a Shaiva, I am a smart, I am क्या क्या बोलते हैं. हम तो सनातनी हैं, हम क्या आर्य समाजी हैं, हम we are Christians, we are Muslims, we are this, we are that, we are the upasakas of we are Ganapatya. The other one says I am a Subramanya. Just like that, here someone says, oh, we are the, some people say, if you want to use the numbers, we are Dvivedi, we are Trivedi, we are Chaturvedi. You have heard these surnames? Because they used to pursue that. The same way, here people are following the path of 3, the path of 5, path of 8, path of 11, and they accept whatever. But who are these people? All these examples that I gave you just now, who are these people? I'm asking, someone answer. What is their bent of mind? Tell. इतना शांत. Everyone is established in the self, in the divine. Very good. The bent of mind of these people is that they have taken the Prakriti to be the reality and not the Purusha. Arguments are between 2, 3, 5, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 36. So where are these? Where is the variety? Is the variety in the Purusha or is the variety in the Prakriti? It's in the Prakriti, isn't it? So they have, all these people who are discussing this, arguing, और वी आर रैंगलिंग इन आवर ओन माइंड कि क्या यार कौन सा वाला फॉलो करूं. 36 बाप रे मेरे को याद ही नहीं रहेंगे. 28 कैसे याद रहेंगे, मेरे को तो 3 ही याद है, सत्व रजस तमस. अब सत्व रजस तमस को तोड़ के 8 बनाना है. कैसे बनाएंगे. हाँ, पंचोधा क्या कहते हैं, स्पेस फायर, स्पेस एयर फायर वाटर. सो द मोर आई एम गोइंग फ्रॉम 1 to 3, 3 to 5, 5 to 8, 8 to 11. More things I have to remember. That means that much far away we have gone from the Purusha or the Purushottam or the Atma or the Paramatma, whichever way you put it. So now decide. Are we here to discuss Prakriti or are we here to know divinity? Huh? Are we here to discuss Prakriti or are we here to know divinity? Then in the 6th verse he says, यासां व्यतिकरादासीद् विकल्पो वदतां पदं प्राप्ते शमदमेप्येति वादस्तमनुशाम्यति. In the 6th verse, diversity in the form of this universe, which is the subject of controversy among the disputants, follows from the disturbance of equilibrium of these potencies. When control of the mind and subjugation of the senses are attained, the diversity disappears, and the controversy also is set at rest as a sequel to it. See how beautiful. Remember this line. What is that? When the mind is in equilibrium, when the mind is not hijacked away by the diversity, by the duality, by the multiplicity, by the differences, by the options, then when it is not getting carried away by the variety, then automatically it does not matter, yaar. Does it matter to you when you go to sleep about all the world and about the past and about the future aspiration? Nothing. You just want to go to sleep. Similarly, be a seeker. And these questions may not have arisen in your mind at this moment. Or when we began the chapter, or even in last class, this question must not have come. But when we are on the seat of meditation, these questions do appear. And in a very simple way, I will tell you, we can be lost. Who came first? Jiva came first, or Ishvara came first, or Prakriti came first? Which one came first? Did the Prakriti come first? Yeah, man, Bhagavad only told that I entered this body in 4th or the 5th month, which means the Prakriti, the body was already there. Oh, really? Understand now where the standpoint is. So this fellow number one is saying, Bhagavad says that I entered into the womb when it was in 4th or 6th month of pregnancy. But second one says, no, 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 no. If I entered into the womb in the 4th, 5th month, which means I was there before the body was formed by my parents. That's why I'm able to enter. So I was before that. Right or not? Think. Some people think that this creation was there before I was born. Some people think, oh, God is always, I came afterwards. These are all wrong notions. These statements come depending upon where you are standing in life, what you are considering yourself to be at this moment. Are you considering yourself to be the body? Then yes, these statements may be true. But if you consider yourself to be the life principle, or you consider yourself to be the Atma, or you hold on, just like Bhagavan says that I am in the heart of everyone, and you hold on to the Lord in your heart. For a devotee, who cares if it is 10, 15, 20, 30? Who cares? Sattva Rajas, I don't know. I only know Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. The other day I was watching the Anand Mahima's video on YouTube. And she has never studied scriptures. All she has done is chanted the Lord's name. And people are asking her question. And she says, she kept quiet. And again they asked, she kept quiet. Again they asked, they said, Amma, Ma, why don't you tell in your Agdam Bagadam language the answer to this question? Agdam Bagadam. Because hers is not a Shastric language. What we are explaining to you is according to the scriptures. But she is telling them according to her experience. See? And while she is answering, every now and then she just and she goes into that ecstasy. Even while answering. Because as she is explaining, she is coming from her own direct experience. She doesn't need scriptures to prove who she is. See? So what is the position we are taking in life? So here Bhagavan is telling that diversity in the form of the universe, because what is the diversity? Name and form is the diversity, which is the subject of controversy among the disputants. So who are these people who are arguing and debating? They are debating about that how much is the variety? What is the cause of this variety? Oh, I can understand the effect is cause alone becomes many effects. But how many effects does it become? Does it become infinite effects? Does it become how to understand that infinite number of name and forms? I want to create a equation. So that equation, is it going to have this many ingredients or these many categories or these many categories? For these people, it is are the people who are focused on the Prakriti. And what happens when we are focused on the Prakriti? Tell someone. What happens when we are focused on the Prakriti? Hello? सब सो गए क्या? Everyone is sleeping, only I am talking.
mind, Swamiji.
Delusion in the mind.
Yes.
Okay. Anyone else? हाँ, क्या चीज? जोर से बोल, मेरे को सुनाई नहीं दे रहा. हाँ.
Creates differences.
Who creates differences?
Like you see differences.
मैं तुम्हारे को डांटने के चक्कर में अपना प्रश्न ही भूल गया.
What happens when you focus on
What happens when you focus on Prakriti? What simple answer? The number of thoughts in your mind will increase. Right or not?
Yes, Swamiji.
The moment you focus on the world or the Prakriti, that from that moment onwards, one thought becomes 10 thought, 10 thought become 100 thought, 100 thought. Watch yourself when you wake up in the morning. This is and if we are lost in that thinking that this Prakriti, meaning where does it start? I am this body. I am this mind. And the moment we take that to be the basis, then from there onwards we cannot be happy, because mind will keep oscillating. Waking, dream, deep sleep. In the waking also, husband, we become the husband, we become the brother, we become the take various roles. We have to do this, we have to do that, we have to do this, we have to maintain, we have to secure, we have to earn, we have to do this. Just keeps increasing. The activity keeps increasing when our attention is on Prakriti. So who are these disputing people who are arguing with each other? These are those people whose attention is on Prakriti rather than on the divinity. Now it is not an imaginary scenario being created. Now find out, where are you focused? Where are we focused? Are we focused on the Lord in our heart? Are we focused on the unchanging principle that is the self? Or am I focused or accepting that I am the mind, I am the thoughts, I understood, yes, I did not understand, no, which means I have taken, accepted I am the mind. Maybe just a few seconds ago, when I was asking question and nobody answered, you were all in equilibrium. That's why nobody answered. फिर जब मैंने डांटा तो फिर सबने suddenly the equilibrium was broken. See, ऐसे भी हो सकता है. सोचना है तो पॉजिटिव ही सोचो. इक्विलिब्रियम में थे, स्वामी जी को बोलते रहने तो आपने बाद में आंसर ही कर देंगे. Why should I give my 2 pennies of contribution? Why should I not give? I am equanimous. I am not affected by the question or the answer. बढ़िया पोजीशन है वो. See? So question is, where are we focused? When we are listening to Bhagavad, is our attention on, the Bhagwan, that one reality becomes Ishwar and Prakriti, and then Prakriti is Trigunatmika, then the Trigunas, they become the Panchadhatus and the Panchatanmatras, and then eventually the Hiranyagarbha, then eventually the Virat Purush, and this is how the Prakriti happens. So are we focused on all this drama, or are we focused on that one Lord? And not in our mind. in our heart. So yasam vyatikaradasi vikalpo vadatam padam prapte shamadame pyeti vadastamanu. So how will follows from the disturbance. So when we wake up every morning, our mind is in equilibrium. It is in the lap of bliss. And then the disturbance starts. And then the number of thoughts start increasing. Till now they become more powerful than us. Because then they are telling, hey, come here. We lose that sense of that bliss disposition. Follows from the disturbance of equilibrium of these potencies when control of the mind and subjugation of the senses are attained, which is shama and dhamma. Dhamma is control of senses and shama is control of mind. So don't expose your senses to unwanted stimuli, unwanted serials you don't watch, unwanted programs you don't watch. See, some of the kids were saying when the corona began, everyone was worried, kahan pe aa gaya. Today, I think all of you must be in the same zone. Who cares? ये बहुत हो गया, दिमाग पक गया अभी कोरोना से. So every now and then you may watch what is going on, but day in and day out you are not watching what is the status of corona around the world. Same way a sadhak, he is not worried about what is going on in the world. Enough हो गया यार, इतने from childhood till now I have been only thinking about the world, only trying to achieve the world, only try to control the world, only try to become the boss of the world, only try to think about what the world is made up of. 300 years ago they said world is flat, today they say the earth is round. In the school they taught us that Europeans gave us all the knowledge. Now I realize that all this knowledge was already discovered in the Sanatan Dharma, in the Vedas. What is real and what is unreal? I don't want all that. Enough of it. They say I am in the world, but scriptures say the world came because I am there. And when you want to know, how is it that I was already there and then the world came? Sometimes the examples don't click. Sometimes we are not, because we are not available. We are too Prakriti oriented, matter oriented. When all this happens, solution is either go to sleep and forget all the convulsions going on in the mind, or take the name of the Lord, think of the Lord. Who cares what is going to happen? I don't want answers for these questions because they are not important. These questions are taking me away from the divine theme. See? So if we find ourselves to be caught up in these type of questions in our mind, immediately become alert, control your senses, understand these questions are coming because we are becoming available to matter and not to the divinity. Become available to the divinity within. We are becoming available to the matter outside. So now how to withdraw? Shamadama. That's what it said here. Where are we? Prapte shamadame pyeti. So having controlled prapte, or on controlling the senses and the mind, then vadastamanu. Equilibrium is gained, and these controversies, these arguments about is it like this or is it like that, all of this disappears by itself. By itself. All the convulsions of the mind, all the regrets in the mind, all the aspirations in the mind, which when we are awake, oh, I don't know when we will go to India now. They are saying till 2021 it will not be possible. Oh my God! And we, one of my friend is there. His mother is almost 92 now, and she's sick. Anytime she can go, and he wants to go, and how to go? He's तड़प रहा है. तड़प रहा है. He tried everything, but to go to India, instead of staying with his mother, he will have to spend 2 weeks in quarantine. So 2 weeks there, and then he comes back again 2 weeks here. Then he found out that only those who really need to go are being given the permission. And it's risky at the moment to go to Delhi. So now he has accepted. This is how it is. If he has accepted it. But if he has, for one moment he accepts, then again, I wish I go there and this and that. Again agitated mind. When the control of mind and subjugation of the senses are attained, the diversity disappears and the controversy is set at rest as a sequel to it. So when as the diversity, as the multitude of thoughts erupting in our mind become less and less and less and less, with that our addiction to matter also becomes less and less and less and less. And this is your daily journey when you go to sleep. Then what do? Replace sleep with Bhagwan? Replace sleep with the Lord? Replace sleep with Atma? Replace sleep with the name of the Lord? This lady says, Swamiji, I am already taking name of the Lord. I said, what do? She says, no, when I am taking, from Delhi, she called her. Poor lady. She came with me to Kailash last year. And after she came back, 3 days later, her son was diagnosed with cancer. 29-year-old. Now she's taking care of him in Hyderabad somewhere. Distraught. She's strong, but mother's only son. She says, Swamiji, I'm already taking the name of the Lord. I go to sleep by taking the name of the Lord. I said, do an experiment. At night, instead of going to sleep, remain awake and keep taking the name of the Lord. How do I do that? You have to do that loudly. You cannot do it in the mind. If you do it in the mind, you will fall asleep 100%. Guaranteed. So you keep yourself awake. Keep yourself relaxed. Keep yourself alert, but awake. Find your own way. I can tell you few, but find your own way. How to keep awake. आंखों में मिर्ची लगा के बैठ जाओ. One way. फिर नींद ही नहीं आई. हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे. आंखें रब करते जा रहे हैं. पानी मारो या make a commitment कि I want to know where is the mantra beginning from, where is the mantra ending. Keep your attention there. नींद यूं भाग जाएगी. तो you have to experiment by yourself. क्या होगा maximum क्या होगा? Tomorrow is Sunday, you will sleep in, that's all. But you have to experiment with these things. परस्परानुप्रवेशात् तत्त्वानां पुरुषर्षभ पौर्वापर्यप्रसंख्यानं यथा वक्तुर्विवक्षितम्. In the 7th verse he says, the categories being comprised in one another, O jewel among men, Uddhava, they are enumerated as more or less according to the viewpoint of the speaker by including effects in a cause and vice versa. See? So, what is the viewpoint of the person? A bachelor's viewpoint is Ekameva Dvitiya. I am happy. The husband who has a wife and 2 girls, his view will be Trigunatmika. 3 Maharaniya. He sees himself in association with the 3. And some grandfather, if there is one, so he sees his wife, he sees his 2 girls, and he sees their children suddenly. So wife, children, 2 girls and their children. Say 2. 3 plus 4, 7. 7 ways. He is seeing himself. Oh, this is my wife, this is my kids, and these are my grandkids. Now before, please put yourself to mute when you join, whoever it is. कौन है यार? कौन है यार ये? हाँ, मिल गया. So in this manner, what is our viewpoint? And the person, here it says, according to the viewpoint of the speaker, who by including effects in a cause and vice versa. Is our attention on the water, or is it on the ocean, or is it on the tide, or is it on the wave, or is it on the froth, or is it on the block of ice which is floating in the water? Where is our attention? If my attention is on the block of ice, then I will say, oh, the water has frozen and become the block of ice. Story over. But if my attention is on the wave, oh, the water has become the waves. Then how has it become? Oh, the water has become all the waves. Yeah, I understand that, absolutely. Can the waves be without water? No, they cannot be without water. I understand that also. Oh, but there is a tide in between. In the tide there are so many waves. So is the cause the water, or is the cause the ocean, or is the cause the tide of that wave? It depends where your attention is. If you can only see the tide with the many waves in it, then you will say tide is the cause. If you see the ocean, then you say ocean is the cause of the waves. If you see the water, you say water is the cause of the ocean and the waves. See the numbers keep increasing. So where is our attention? Our attention should not be on any one of these. Our attention should be on the divine. Continuing, ekasminnapi drishyante pravishtanitaraani cha पूर्वस्मिन् वा परस्मिन् वा तत्त्वे तत्त्वानि सर्वशः. He says, in a single category, whether it is a cause or an effect, are found comprised all other categories, viz., effects in a cause and vice versa. There are three rules of cause and effect. The first rule is that every effect must have a cause. Every ornament has a cause called gold. Every child has a cause called parents. Parent. Is it parents or parent? Father and mother. See? Every pot has a cause called mud. Every light, here what I am seeing, this light has a cause called electricity. So first rule, every effect must have a cause. Every egg, because our attention is on the egg. Oh, where did this egg come from? Oh, chicken laid the egg. Second rule now. What is the rule? Cause itself expresses as many effects. Cause, mud. Mud alone expresses as many pots. Gold alone expresses as many ornaments. Chicken alone expresses as many eggs. See? Man alone expresses as the various roles that he or she is expressing as. Cause is the eyes, effect is the form that it is seeing. The cause is the ears, and the effect is all the sounds that it is able to hear. Go further in. Mind is the cause, senses are the effect. Go further back in. Life is the cause, mind is the effect. Effect is always a phenomena. Remember this. Effect is not a reality. Effect is a phenomena. If gold is the cause and ornament is the effect, when you are touching the ornament, you are touching the cause. You are touching the original. There is nothing called ornament. If you touch the ornament, you are touching gold. If you taste the ornament, you are tasting gold. Think. So if you are interacting with your mind, which is the effect, Purusha Prakriti, remember, you are the Purusha, mind is the Prakriti. And you are lost with what in the mind? You are not lost with the mind. You are lost with the eruptions in the mind. And what are the eruptions in the mind? Thoughts. You are lost with the thoughts. You get identified with some ideas. But what is the mind essentially made up of? What is the mind essentially made up of? Consciousness. See? So first rule was every effect must have a cause. Second rule was cause itself expresses as many effects. And majority of the religions, they remain at this level only. They don't even, there also they separate the cause and the effect, and then they keep thinking about the cause. Mannath Sri Jagannatha. The Lord in my heart is the Lord of the world. Madatma Sarva Bhutatma. The self in me is the self in all. If the ornament says the gold in me is the gold in all the ornaments, it's true. Realization हो गया. लेकिन हमारा अटेंशन उस पे नहीं जा रहा है. पर when we say the self in me or the gold in me is the gold in all, then he can say that only when he gives up his identification with his particular form, if he wants to experience that and get away from the fear of melting and being molded into another different ornament. He has to realize that I cannot be non-existent, I am existent. Whether I am in a necklace form or whether I am in a bracelet form. He is afraid of melting, he is afraid of dying as the form. Form is always afraid of dying. So here it is told that whether it is a cause or an effect are found comprised all other categories, that is effects in a cause and cause in the effect. This is the second rule that he is telling. All effects are in all the waves are in the ocean, and ocean is in all the waves. All the roles are in the man, and man is in all the roles. But the roles, the husband, the brother, the son, they cannot come to know. As long as that role is being played, till that role is being played, we forget, we cannot come to know that we are the man essentially. Man can know that, oh, now I am playing the role of man, husband, now I am playing the role of brother, now I am playing the role of father. And I am not affected by any one of them. He can say that. But if the father or the son or the husband wants to come to know the man, now this is happening to you every moment, every few minutes, because you are always talking to someone. Wife's call comes or the child is there in front of you. So when you are switching the various roles, you have to give up the role of the father in order to take on the role of husband. You have to give up. You cannot even, switching within the roles also, you cannot carry the role of father and take it and start behaving like a husband. It's not possible. So the effect has to vanish. The impact of the effect has to vanish, has to be neutralized in order to know the cause. And for that, before it was told, prapte shamadamepyati, the control of senses, control of mind, come back. The lesser the impact of the thoughts of variety on our mind, then automatically in such a quietened mind, jigyasa, the urge to know the source, automatically gets inaugurated, gets ignited. The thirst comes. या हो गया, बहुत हो गया यार. Paurvaparyamatō Misha. No, where are we? Paurvaparyamatō Misham prasankhyanamabhipsatam yatha viviktam yadvaktram grunhimo yukti sambhavat. He says, therefore, we accept as conclusive whatever is stated according to one's own viewpoint by any one of those disputants seeking to establish the relation as cause and effect or a definite number of categories, there being a cogent reason behind every such assertion. So, the Hindu mind or a Sanatana Dharmi mind has got no problem. If someone is a Shiva Bhakt, if someone is having a Ishtadev called Vishnu, another has a Ishtadev called Ganpati, another has Subramanyam Swami, another one has, so many varieties are there. Those who follow Vedanta or the Vedas, Sanatan Dharma, they have absolutely no problem with what anyone is following in their life, because they understand everything is an expression of that one. Story over. Think. This is the beautiful present that the God has given us, to be born in this country called Bharat, and having born there, that itself is a blessing, but also in the Sanatan Dharma. And we are getting exposed to it day in and day out. Continuous satsang is going on. You probably listen to other things on the YouTube. And this healthy mind where we don't have any animosity with any religion, with anyone's beliefs. Remember what I said when Buddha said, yes, God is, yes, God is not. No problem. Because he understood where that one first person was coming from, and he understood where the second person is coming from. If someone says in our culture that Purusha is the ultimate, okay. If someone says Prakriti is the ultimate, and he shows the photograph of Kali, Mahakali with the Shiva under her foot, okay, no problem. We have got no problem, because we understand that Purusha, Prakriti are both expressions of that one. Purusha and Prakriti are both, what are they? Effects. Effects of that causeless cause. Who is that causeless cause? That even after expressing as Shiva Shakti or Ishvara Maya or Ishwar Prakriti, he never loses his oneness. Just like man, even after playing the roles of husband, brother, father, doesn't lose being a man. He continues to be the man. Just like gold, having expressed as many ornaments, continues to be gold. No loss. Ishvara, go one step back. Ishvara, having expressed through the Shakti or the Maya or the Prakriti, still continues to be the one. He knows. Why? He knows this Shakti or the Prakriti is part and parcel of his. He is not separate from her. Then where are we going wrong? Where are we going wrong? We have considered ourselves to be separate from our wife, separate from our children. We don't have the all-inclusive vision. Why is that happening? Because I consider I am only this much. Only this. this form, then how do I get out of it? Think of the infinite. Think of that one who is appearing as all the forms. Just like space is providing accommodation to air, fire, water, earth, mountains, rivers. The whole cosmos is in the space. So many galaxies are going out of existence. So many galaxies are coming into existence. But the space does not get affected. Space is not getting tickled. अरे यहाँ पे explosion हो गया, अरे वहाँ पे explosion हो गया, अरे इधर क्या हो गया, इधर क्या, कुछ नहीं. Because the planets are going round and round, the sun, space is also going round and round. अरे चक्कर आ गए यार. नहीं. It remains as it is. This is what equanimity will do to us. This is what, and as a result of that equanimity, lesser number of thoughts in our mind. And when we remain as the source, as we take that position that I am the source with no effects, then what am I? Source alone is being imagined as effects. Gold alone is being imagined as effects called ornaments. Water alone is being imagined as, the one water is being imagined as ocean and waves. That one reality is being imagined as this diversity. And that is happening. Let it happen. You don't lose the plot. The answer is by going in and then reforming our vision as a result of going in and finding ourselves and being ourselves. And then when we see, eventually you can't keep remaining in silence for long. Eventually the mind will think, the senses will open up, and when you see yourself only extended till infinity. Right now that is not our experience. Right now our experience of our extension is only till the toenails, only till the end tips of the hair, only till where the skin ends. Till there we feel we are pervading. No, if you want to pervade the entire universe. For that we have to go in. Now, so therefore we accept as conclusive. So those people who believe in Ekameva Dvitiya, we accept. Those who believe in Vishishta Advait, we accept. Those who believe in Dvaita, we accept. Those who believe in Guru as God, we accept. Those who believe in Lord Vishnu as their ultimate, we accept. Those who believe in Lord Shiva as the ultimate, we accept. We accept everything. We reject nothing. Remember this principle very clearly. We accept everything, we reject nothing. But at the same time, we retain nothing. We don't create a memory of it. Because if we create a memory, immediately individuality precipitates. No memory. And don't try to work this out by looking at the world. No. This churning has to go on inside. Next 4 verses. So Bhagwan says that whoever speaks from whatever angle, we accept. We accept Buddhism, the nihilist philosophy. It is an offshoot of Sanatan Dharma. And you ask Nagi. Nagi was with me at the Singapore airport where I met Dalai Lama, and he was coming to take his flight with some security and everything, and so many 10-15 people with him, and he's coming, and me and Nagi are standing at his gate. Nagi says, see who's coming. I got up, And Arey, this is Dalai Lama. This is at 1 o'clock in the morning, at 12 o'clock at night. And he came, and he could have gone straight, but he saw me. He came straight to me. I touched his feet. Oh, I should not touch his feet because he is Buddhist. He believes in non-existence. We believe in existence, Baba. If I touch his feet, then I'll also become non-existent. Nothing like this. So I touched his feet, and he picked me up. And when he picked me up, in Buddhism, in Tibetan, they touch the forehead with each other. So he touched his head to me, to my head, and he was smiling. I was in bliss, but in that cheeky mood, I said, Swamiji. He says, huh? Yes, son. I said, Swamiji, everything is downloaded from this hard disk to this hard disk. Immediately he put his hand. He says, that great man, what does he say? He says, we are there because you people are there, because Sanatan Dharma is there, therefore we are there. These were his words. Ask Nagi. Sanatan Dharma. I am always pleased to see a person who is living and accepting and propagating the Sanatan Dharma. Because without this Sanatan Dharma, nothing in this creation can be. Because see, the word itself says Sanatan, eternal, Dharma, the righteousness. Now you can take out whatever, wherever your attention is, you will take it out. And immediately, just I was going through somewhere, I read I think it was in New Zealand in some magazine. 2-3 years ago, the VHP, Vishwa Hindu Parishad, their chief keynote speaker was Dalai Lama. How come a Hindu organization is calling Dalai Lama as the chief keynote speaker? Because of this view. He said exactly the same things there. But you take other, some are very staunch Buddhist. They don't want to know what is Hinduism. But only great people like Dalai Lama and other Mahatmas who saw the oneness itself is everything. We have to take the position of oneness. Otherwise, we'll remain caught up in cause, effect, cause, effect, cause, effect, cause, effect. And if I am the cause, then I have to find who is the misery of my cause, of me, and I'll find someone. Anadya vidya yuktasya purushasya vedanam swato na sambhavadanya tatvagno jnanado bhavet पुरुषेश्वरयोरत्र न वैलक्षण्यमण्वपि तदन्यकल्पना पार्था ज्ञानं च प्रकृतेर्गुणः प्रकृतिर्गुणसाम्यं वै प्रकृतेर्नात्मनो गुणाः सत्वं रजस्तम इति स्थित्युत्पत्त्यन्तहेतवः सत्वज्ञानं रजः कर्म तमो ज्ञानमिहोच्यते गुणव्यतिकरः कालः स्वभावसूत्रमेव च. He says, अनाद्य विद्या युक्तस्य पुरुषस्यात्मवेदनं स्वतो न संभवादन्यः तत्त्वज्ञो ज्ञानदो भवेत्. Self-realization in the case of the jiva, individual soul, who is characterized by ignorance that has no beginning, cannot take place by itself, and is possible only through instructions imparted by another omniscient being. There must be another being who knows the truth and is able to impart this knowledge to the jiva. See how beautifully here Lord is telling him. as long as we have considered ourselves to be a soul. Meaning what? Different things. As long as we have considered ourselves to be the body, as long as we are, no, okay, let's go even further out. As long as we have considered ourselves to be a father, brother, etc., etc., some role that we are playing, come back in. Who is the cause? The man. Oh, I am the man. Who is this man? I am the individual. If we have considered ourselves to be the individual, where does this individuality end? What is the scope of this individuality? Do you know? You know what is the scope of this individuality? Anyone? I'm asking. What is the scope of this, or scope of expansion of this individuality? Okay, let's put it this way.
Me and mine.
What is the scope of expansion of this individuality?
Totality.
Good. Who said that?
Renuka.
Renuka. So, the scope of the expansion of individuality is all the way to Brahmaji. Even Brahmaji considers himself to be an individual only, as long as he thinks he is someone. And what does he think himself to be? That I am the creator. If he thinks that, he is an individual. Think. So as long as I consider myself to be an individual, till then I need someone as a teacher, as a guru. Here it says, a wise man who is established in the self, a realized Mahatma, in order to guide me. See, Brahmaji also, when he came into existence, he said, what am I doing here? Who am I? What am I doing? For what I was born? We are asking the same question. What is my purpose in life? How do I make an impact in this life? Brahmaji was wise. He went into himself. He went into the lotus. He went into the stalk of the lotus. And there the Lord revealed to him. What did he reveal to him? That do tapas. So he heard only the sound. He didn't see the form of the Vishnu, Mahavishnu. That got revealed later. Then he came out and he did tapas. He contemplated on that that sound. And then the purpose became revealed to him. What was the purpose? To create the creation. And that wise Brahmaji created the creation out of himself as an offering to that divine who had guided him to do tapas. Think, now see this whole process. So are we creating creation? Are we speaking words? Are we doing actions? Are we interacting? Are we playing the roles? He is playing the role of the creator, but he is playing the role of the creator because that is been ordained by the divine, his boss. The truth, the reality. But are we in our daily interaction, daily living, are we considering that every breath that is coming and going, every eye blink, every word that is coming, or the stimuli that is coming through the senses, or the thoughts that are erupting in my mind, the words which are coming out of my mind, do we see them as inspiration of the divine? If we do that, very quickly we will get integrated. And why we can see ourselves to be so far apart from the divinity, even though it is our nature, it is only because at the individual level, I am. Someone said I and mine. So we live at I and mine. Brahmaji creates and forgets. Brahmaji creates and forgets. Everything in nature creates and forgets. Only human being creates and holds on. Think. Brahmaji creates the creation, forgets it. Tree creates the seeds, forgets it, let them fall, who cares? No, my fruits are falling down, please someone help me, please attach them back to me. You never see a tree saying that. The animal kingdom also the same. But we who are attached to what we create, we are attached to the body, we are attached to the action, we are attached to the thoughts, we are attached to our whatever, our partners, we are attached to birth, we are attached to, or we can say attached to death, because of that attachment of that thought that I am going to die one day, I am trying everything to become immortal, or want to avoid death as much as possible. So it is only in this human being, in this individual, where this error or corruption of attachment is there. And he is not able to see it. Even if he is able to see it, he is not able to let go of it, grow out of it. Even though daily life is giving him that experience, that true bliss is when you have dropped all your attachments, sleep. Still, the moment he wakes up, he again with renewed enthusiasm, he gets into the attachment. I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to expand my business, I have to get my children married, I have to get this done, I have to get that done, I have to... endless pursuit. Where? Into the Prakriti. And that is why we need a Mahatma of a caliber. Mahatma who is established. Mahatma who is having that vision of oneness and seeing the entire as an expression of the self alone. In spite of the multitude and diversity, he has not become the many. Purnamada Purnamidam is his direct experience. He is established in that. When such a person says something, it makes an impact on our mind. So here Bhagavan says that self-realization in the case of a jiva, the individual soul who is characterized by ignorance. And what is ignorance? Identification with one body. Two ways. Either you disidentify with this body, detach with this body, or you get identified or attached to all the forms in this creation. Those are the only two options you have. Ignorance has no beginning. Why did this come about? Why am I born as an individual? Arey, you are born. Story over. Now work out. Cannot take place by itself. Bhagwan is saying, see, some people, one or two people who have come in last 1 week, they called, Swamiji, what should I study? What should I do? What? I said, don't study here. No, I don't want. I want to read Bhagavad Gita as it is. As it is meaning not the ISKCON one, but they don't want anyone's interpretation of Bhagavad Gita. I said, then you will never understand it. I'm not saying never understand it, but you will understand it only from the point of view where you are. Where are you? You are a wife. Where are you? You are a mother. Where are you? Afraid of coronavirus. Where are you? Who is eager to get this coronavirus over so you can go back to India to meet your father or mother? Who are you who just lost a lot of money for a trip to Alaska and you're still waiting for that money to come and you don't know whether you will get it or not? Who are you who is having and collecting so much income in superannuation and savings so that it will help you in your old age? With all this background, all this data about yourself, you are going to go and study the Bhagavad Gita by yourself. You are already afraid, you are already attached, you are already identified, you are already accepting differences is the norm, you are already accepting that the world was there before you came. With all those wrong conclusions of life, we are going to study the Bhagavad Gita or the Mahabharata or whatever scripture by ourselves because we have this arrogance that I want to know the way I want to know, not how someone else tells me. See, strong ego. And therefore Bhagavan is warning us here, giving us guidance that self-realization cannot take place by itself and is possible only through instructions imparted by another omniscient being, only through satsang. That omniscient being may be with a form, may be without a form. Both is possible, huh? With the form, Guru Maharaj. Another form, your God. Without form, the self. And you must have seen sometimes when you are meditating, answers come from within, no? Answers, what you need to do next gets prompted from within. Who is doing that? It is that omniscient being. Who is that omniscient being? The self-knowing principle. Who is that? That is the Atma. Who is that? The principle. What is that principle who knows waking, dream and deep sleep come and go every day? That is the Atma. That is the omniscient principle. And who is that? Arre, that is me only. Ah, देखो. So Nachiketa was guided by the Lord of Death and he came to realize. See? Dhruva, Lord Vishnu came and told him, isn't it? We saw the stories. Arun Maharishi did not go to anyone. He went to Arunachala and he became firm like Arunachala within himself. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa went to Kali, and when he was prepared, he was ready, then the Guru came in his life. Totapuri Maharaj came and guided him. In our life, our Guru Maharaj has come and guided our life. But don't get fixated on that. Guru Maharaj is the principle. So don't think that I am teaching you. If you want to get benefit from this, remain in the disposition that your mind has created this whole situation so that it can get exposed to this knowledge. Because the self in me is the self in all. If that is the disposition, then I cannot talk till you are not here, there to listen. Will I talk to a wall? Like kids say, speak to the wall, means the hand, speak to the hand or speak to the wall. I can't speak to a wall. I need some people. That's why I keep asking questions, that you are there. I am speaking to some living people there, even though they are virtual. See? पुरुषेश्वरयोरत्र न वैलक्षण्यमण्वपि तदन्यकल्पना पार्था ज्ञानं च प्रकृतेर्गुणः. He says, where are we? Oh no, he did not complete. That is the argument advanced in favor of their contention of those who recognize an additional category with God as apart from the soul, and thus raise the number of categories to 26. So those who think that God and the Prakriti are separate, those who consider that the God and the self is separate, so where is their attention? Their attention is on the Prakriti. Then they can see the variety and they take it up to 26. They are not focused. They don't want to realize. They don't want to realize the divinity. Those who are obsessed with ritual, those who are obsessed with Kundalini or the Kriya, those who are obsessed with pranayam, those who are obsessed with japa, the commitment must be there, but with understanding where it is taking. Even if we begin with ignorance, okay, I'm going to begin, I have to do this, that's all, I don't know why, I will do it. Like Anandamayi Ma, she did not know why, but from the time of birth she was in love with the Lord. See, parents made her get married, she couldn't get out of it. But the husband never touched her, because she told him, the day you touch me, that same night you will die. And once when she went to the goddess temple and came back, or Krishna temple and came back, in the night he saw something, I can't remember now, he saw something and he knew not to mess with his wife. Next day he fell at the feet of his wife, who was younger than him, and she touched his third eye and accepted him as her disciple. See? I am the mother, I am the husband. दादागिरी है क्या? ऐसे नहीं होता. So those who are arguing, for them the categories become important because their attention is on the Prakriti. There is, in the 11th verse, there, and then we conclude, there is not the least difference in this body between the individual soul and God, both being of the nature of consciousness. देखो मैंने क्या बोला था? What is the scope of expansion? If you expand your mind from bachelor, you expand, you become a family man. You expand further, you become father of nation. you expand further. You can bhur bhuva swa tapa jana maha tap satyam. Satya lok tak ja sakte ho. That is not expansion of the Atma. That is the expansion of the matter, the mind. And what is happening? The mind, instead of accepting only this body and this world as it sees is as real, it is getting focused on something higher, the totality. And in that focus on totality, when the mind becomes single pointed, it expands. And therefore it is told, there is not the least difference in this body between the individual soul and the God, both being of the nature of consciousness. Brahmaji is consciousness, you are also consciousness. Ocean is also water, wave is also water. The individual wave is water, the total waters, which is called ocean, is also water. The bachelor is also conscious, the husband is also consciousness only. Depends where you want to be. You want to be at the virtual, you want to be at the individual, you want to be at the total, or you want to be the one without a second. Therefore, the assumption that they are distinct from one another is meaningless. So to consider that individual and total are separate to each other is a wrong information that we have fed to our mind. Therefore, with this presupposition, we are going to temples. We think God will grace us. God is in the individual and the total is one and the same. You have to invoke it. Yes, it's okay. When you go to the temple, it gets invoked. The feeling comes. But how long? 1 second, 2 seconds, then networking or restaurant. So therefore, the assumption that the total and the individual are separate, this assumption has to be given up. And this gets given up only when we become available to a omniscient being, whether it be God, God meaning Ishvara here, or whether it be the Atma, or whether it be the, what was the other one? Whether it be the Guru. The Guru. Therefore, the assumption that they are distinct from one another is meaningless, and knowledge or self-realization is but a function of sattva guna, a constituent of prakriti. Hence, it is not necessary to recognize a 26th category in the shape of God in order to rationalize the possibility of self-realization. This is the stand taken by those who recognize only 25 principles. So what is the 26th principle? God. Why they have calculated 25 to reach 26th? Because they thought he is far away from him. Then who will be the one who says only 3? For him God is closer. Only Sattva Rajas Tamas. So those who believe there are many more categories, that means they have their premise on which they are doing it is that the truth or the divinity is far away from me, it's separate from me. We live at this auspicious thought that it is not. It is part and parcel of my being. The individual, so Bhagavan is saying, the individual soul and the total God is one and the same. Why? Because God is conscious and the individual is conscious. There cannot be two consciousnesses. There cannot be two spaces. The space inside the house, the individual space, and the space outside, which is the total space. No. The individual space and the total space is one and the same, exactly the same way. The consciousness, individual consciousness and the total consciousness, in their nature they are the same. That's why so beautiful our scriptures are, where they say that all the gods, the sun god, the moon god, the Ashwini Kumars, the Agni Devta, the Varuna Devta, the Prithvi Devi, the Vishnu Bhagavan, the Brahmaji, the Rudra, all of them are situated within our body. When we do the Rudram, the first part of the Lagunyas, in that it comes, no? Whether you take that, in that it comes by way of, there it comes. Prajanane Brahma Tishtatu, Pado Vishnus Tishtatu. And this way it goes on. Every god, so what is there in macro is present in this micro. Individual is the micro, total is the macro. But we have created a cause and effect relationship between macro and micro. This assumption that there is cause and effect relationship here, it may seem to be that way. But if we want to transcend and realize, self-realize, the word here used was self-realize, then we have to go beyond these assumptions. Otherwise we will remain caught up in limitations, whether they be of individual limitations or they be of total limitations. Get out of them and recognize that you are all that there is. The self is all that there is. All this is told for us to not get lost too much in scriptures and get confused. We'll continue from verse 12 onwards in next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.